Well, it's a 12-race betting bonanza on Hollywoodbets Durban July Day, and plenty of clues to give you just as we lead up towards the big one, which is race number 7 on the card. Now we're going to take you through the other 11 races, potentially give you some clues to winning that Hollywoodbet Punters Challenge, the Pick 6, or connecting a few all to comes, whatever the case may be. I'm going to talk to Cabello, Richard, Anthony, Mike DeCock, and also Justin Snaith about their runners and rides for the other 11 races on the card. Looking forward to the first race getting underway at 11:45 in the morning. Get you nice and early. Don't forget to get you in time for race number 1. Richard, I'm going to kick off with you. You've got number 5, Lock and Key in the first race. Seriously impressive debut win at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. Now goes around the turn. How impressed were you with her first run?
Well, look, yeah, obviously first timers, you don't know what to expect, but there was a whole heap of confidence from the Cotton Racing Yard, and I had very simple instructions that day. Just don't bustle her around if she's not ready enough to win it, as long as she learns from it. But she did a fair bit amount of pace work in that race, but obviously now being a 2-year-old, running her back a little bit soon, taking on the older horses, so it could be a tricky one.
Potentially, how good though can she be if this run's not coming too soon?
Well, if she was given a good 6 months, I think she potentially has all the ticks to be a top filly.
Cabello, you ride number 12 on the card, Vision to Achieve. She's got the worst of the draws. How do you see her featuring in race number 1?
I think it's a competitive race for her. With the tough draw to compete with, I don't think it will be that easy to overcome the draw. She's had her excuses of late, but I think if she bounces back to early form, I think she can definitely be there to compete.
So that is the first leg of 3 jackpots on Hollywoodbets Durban July. Race number 2 is the start of the first bar pot. Gets underway at 12:25. I'm going to start with Anthony Delpeche because the Hollywood Syndicate have got number 5, Ibuto. Lovely big strapping son of Duke of Marmalade. He's shown his worth a few times, and do you think that he's a contender in the second race on the card?
Well, he does love the surface and he does love the trip. The 1400 is going to suit him. But saying that, I think the field is very competitive.
Justin, number 7, the Grey King. What went wrong in the Daily News 2000? Because that was such a weird race.
Look, I think I put the saddle on. I don't think I put it on perfectly, but it was resaddled at the start. So luckily that happened, so I couldn't take the blame. But he pulled badly. It was an interesting race where the pace was on and then it wasn't, and you saw horses looping the field. He's run just behind 2 horses that are running in the Hollywoodbets Durban July. Back into a 1400, I think we've got a great rider here. We specifically wanted Craig. Craig's riding the top of his game. He's going to suit him. Certainly a perfect horse to kick off the day with. He's got to go into everything.
And Cabello, you run number 10, Wise Act, who ran here at Hollywoodbets Greyville on Saturday over 1,600 metres, back to 1,400 metres, looks to be more of a sweet spot. What's your opinion of him?
Yes, I think he's on his front-running horse, but I feel, being backed up too quick. But you never know what they bring on the day. But I think if he's fresh enough, and he comes in a race fresh enough, I think he'll definitely try his best. I'll also be trying my best to get him to finish the best.
Do you know if he travelled back to Joburg or has he stayed in Durban? Do you know that answer?
No, I'm not sure of that. No.
Okay. So that's race number 2 on the card. Nice feedback coming from Justin, especially about his runner, the Grey King. As we now move on to the first leg of the Place Accumulator, it's a splash up 2,200 or the Hollywoodbets Durban July Consolations. Always an interesting race because somehow we always look back and say, well, can we draw any comparisons between the Consolation and the Hollywoodbets Durban July? I'm going to kick off here with Cabello because you run number 8, Pomodoro's Jet. Last year's winner, Crimson King, been scratched. You now get on to number 8, Pomodoro's Jet. Off a lightweight. Any similarities that we can draw between last year's winner, Crimson King, who you were carded to ride, not running, and Pomodoro's Jet, who's your hope this year?
Well, I think he's definitely got a shot in the race with the lightweights, and he's shown a lot back home. He's enjoyed being in the Highveld, getting prepped up in the Highveld. His last run was good. Just got boxed in for running in the straight, but I feel like he's definitely has come on from that run. And I'm looking forward to riding him in a splash out, and hopefully he's definitely got a shot in winning the race.
Justin, you have a lively hand with 2 runners here, Mucho De Niro, who looked like he had the capabilities of being one of those well-weighted older horses for the Hollywoodbets Durban July. Sadly didn't get over that hurdle to making the final field. And also Shoshluvi, who many believe is unlucky not to make the final field of the Hollywoodbets Durban July. You got to have big aspirations for this one.
Yeah, look, they've had their issues. Mucho, I sent him for a break and he came into the season. He just needed his runs, and sadly we didn't make the main event. I do think with Richard on, Finally, he's going his distance, which is 2,200. All the preps over shorter distances, back over 2,200, which he only gets warmed up in. Certainly, with the draw, as I said, Richard, I've got to be a horse with a lot of respect in this race. Shishlui, I'm very 50-50 about running him. The whole idea was he's a classy horse. He's one of my better young horses for the summer season. And I just don't know if it warrants running in this race. Honestly, with 59 kilos, wide draw, and the stakes not exactly enticing compared to the 5 million rand of the Hollywoodbets July. So it's quite a hard pill to swallow, but we all do it every year. It's somebody's turn. So it's like running the comrades, and you're the guy that doesn't make the final, and you're the last guy to be stopped.
Why do you keep looking at Mark when you say running the comrades? Are you trying to sort of elbow him into running between Maritzburg and Durban?
I haven't got warmed up with Joe Biden yet. So, if the horse runs, certainly we're confident of a good run. Otherwise, we're not going to run him. As I said, a lot against him here as a young 3-year-old, and just working out whether it could be more damaging to him than going forward for a big summer.
And then, Richard, you ride number 5, Mucho De Niro. You rode him last time. Obviously, not his run. This more his happy place?
Yeah, I would think so. If Justin brings him to the track, moving better. He floated to the start last time, and I thought, okay, we've got a very big chance at it. But in the race, I could never get comfortable into a good rhythm, and they picked it up quite early, and he came off the bit fairly early, and he just didn't want to kick with me. So, kept him all together. I'm pretty sure the A team would have jumped onto him and sorted him out, and hoping that he can redeem himself.
So that's the third race on the card. Some interesting runners that are being represented by the panel here. Let's go on to race number 4, the start of the pick 6. This is the DStv Gold Vase of grade 3 status over 3,000 metres. I'm going to stay with Richard because he rides number 8, Razor Hallelujah, who won on Turfentine last time. Was an eye-catching win coming from the back of the field, probably one easier than the margin suggested. Going from a galloping course to a tight-turning Hollywoodbets Greyville, where he's placed but not won at before. How do you see him going?
I think he's a happy horse now. I had very simple instructions that day, just from Candace. He said, don't force him, wherever he's happy, halfway would be good. And I was like, okay, well, he's got 62 kilos. If the speed he's on, I'll be a lot further back. And thankfully, it was a nice galloping rhythm, and I dropped him out to the back. And through the 300, he was pretty much in command, and I just had to chase Muzi down on breeze over. And I did it in fine style. So it was a good win. I'm quite confident he'll be okay on this track. He's a type of horse you can let go early. But having that riding experience on him definitely puts him in the race.
Cabello, you get on number 2, Rock 4, off a lightweight over this distance. Although paper might not suggest that he's got much of a chance, always with a lightweight over an extended distance, you've got an advantage regardless of the opposition.
Yeah, well, look, I don't know much about the horse, but what I've seen on the replays while studying the card, but I can see that he definitely stays. And yes, with the lightweights, you definitely always have a small chance. But looking at the field, I think he's a little bit outclassed, but it'll take a lot out of him to actually produce a good run.
Justin, you're back again with one-way traffic. 2 years or so since he last won. Won on this day 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, did one-way traffic. Has he got you puzzled, or are you happy with where he is at the moment?
Well, look, I've seen some of the horses that are running in the main race. Maybe I keep him going another year and he might get it. I mean, Mike never gave up with Aragosta and those horses, and they're making it into the main event. So maybe we'll come back next
Joe
year.
Biden might be president of the United States. You never know. His beard is as long as Joe's.
Horse you cannot leave out of anything. The two smart horses that ran well, like Future Pearl and Aragosta, they're into the main event. It weakens this race a little bit and brings him into play. Do not leave him out of anything. If this horse fires up, he won't win. He'll win by 3. He's just that talented when he wants to put it in. As I said to all punters, do not leave this horse out of anything. If he arrives with Daniel Muscat on, big runner.
Mark, I know you don't have a runner in the race, but you've won plenty staying races in the past, including a few gold vases along the way. What type of horse would you look for? A horse that's had 2 runs, now sort of peaking 3rd run after a race. Gallant stayer that's been on the boil for a while. What would you look for?
I like hard knocking stayers, and I think Justin's got one, and Candace has Raise a Hallelujah. I think they bring in a lot of good form. I think Breeze Over's also a runner here as well. He's also fit, got the miles in the legs. I like the miles in. There's a lot of horses in this race that haven't been the trip and are basically, I think, guessing whether they stay or not.
Mark, I'm going to stay with you when we go on to race number 5, the Zulu Kingdom Explorer, Golden Slipper of Grade 2 for fillies. You've got the Hollywood Syndicate runner number 3, Katiwa's Destiny. I'll go to Anthony straight after you. But 2 weeks before the Hollywoodbets Durbanville, you revealed in the winning interview that pretty much Darcy, whether she'd get into the race, and her commanding win against older opposition, certainly stamped herself as being a filly to follow.
Yeah, and look, it wasn't the ideal prep. We had a setback that everyone knows about. But when a 2-year-old wins in handicap company, giving away weight to older horses, I'm always impressed. I always sit up and look up, especially this time of the year. So an impressive win brings her into the race, obviously gets her in. But I think we're dealing with probably 3 very high-class fillies here in the Quid Pro Quo, Gimme's Countess, and Little Ballerina. I think if we can finish in the top 4 here, it's a huge run. I think she's very capable, and in her time will be a black type winner.
Anthony, as a representative of the Hollywood Syndicate, are you surprised at the rise that she's made? I mean, go back 2 months, Katiwa's Destiny looked like a maiden win was coming soon, but then to get to Hollywoodbets Durbanville Grade 2 level looked like it would be a big step to make, but she made that big step very, very quickly.
Yeah, I just like in the manner that she won the race, especially being against older horses and confidence that Muzi, after jumping off, he said, I didn't come out of 3rd gear. And that impressed me a lot. And just the manner that she's done, it's not easy to go with the weight and beat older horses, older fillies. And I just like the manner she done it. Obviously, the race is very, very competitive, but she's not out of it.
Who's the horse to beat, do you think, Ant?
Well, I thought Gimme Contest was very, very unlucky last time. And also the form of Little Ballerina has really, really stood out. And I think those are the 2 to beat.
Richard, you run number 2, Whistle the Tune, who started the juvenile season in Cape Town with a bang at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth. It's, one thing winning early doors, but then to train on, come to Durban and pick up a feature race win, which he did here on Hollywoodbets Gold Challenge Day, is another thing, showing that she's still got more to come. Do you get that impression?
Yeah, look, when I rode her last time, she just felt like a filly that needed time to mature. Obviously, the racing has brought her on. Being able to ride her in that race last time, I learned a lot of information from her. But saying that, this is a tough, tough race. There's Quid Pro Quo, Katiwa's Destiny, Gimme's Countess, which was held up in the Group 1 sprint, which should have won. Sure. Obviously, Little Ballerina, same with all those winning horses coming out of it. There's like 6 winners in one form line. So yeah, I think it's all going to depend on the sort of speed that the race is going to run at, and definitely that will showcase the best filly out of the lot.
Should be a speed, or
Well, I'm hoping like fillies like Sorcerer Supreme from the draw, take it up and press forward, because this sort of race is always the type of race where the guys want to keep their positions and not give too much start away. But saying that, there's real speedsters and there's horses that don't have that early toe that some jocks try and keep them there and they end up burning themselves too much, and that's when the right plum ones will win.
And Cabello, you run number 6, Disting, who wasn't disgraced in the Grade 1 Alan Robertson and Hollywoodbets Scottsville up the road of Maritzburg at the start of June. Where do you put her?
Well, look, she definitely didn't disgrace herself last time. As we said, it's a very competitive field, and I've got a comfortable draw. I'll make most out of it, and hopefully I end up right behind the right horses to pull me through and try and scoop a place at least.
Let's go on to race number 6 now. This is always an exciting race. The Grade 2 Durban Golden Horseshoe. They go 1,400 metres, where again, maximum field that you can get on the turf over 1,400 metres line up. Justin Snate's got 2 runners. Justin, it's never really been your style to bring a lot of 2-year-olds to Durban for champion season. You tend to keep them at home base in Cape Town, bring them here as 3-year-olds if they are of sufficient quality. But you've made no bones about Makazole and Great Plains. How do they stack up in what looks to be a very strong renewal of this 2-year-old colt race?
Yeah, look, I would never bring a 2-year-old that I think very highly of. I would never bring a horse that I think would win the Guineas or something like that. So I brought a couple this year that are, nice lookers. They were okay, but they really have flourished here and haven't put a foot wrong. It'll be easier to tell Nick next year to bring a couple 2-year-olds because he doesn't like to. I don't think there's a lot between the two. I did want to ask Mike Wade last time, did that run 3 wide?
But it's about as wide as Fanika on Shashlui.
Okay, interesting.
Pulled the trigger. Okay, he pulled the trigger a little quicker than Raymond did.
It was an interesting horse to see in the race. I saw it going wide and it still ran on strongly. And
Stayed on, yeah.
yeah, I was quite impressed with that horse's run, but certainly Makazole, we don't think there's much in it. But then some of the older trainers will tell me, are you delusional? The way Great Plains won last time, it's the next superstar. So I hope they're right. I was quite surprised we ended up with a 10 draw. I thought we were going to be drawn 16 and I'd be scratching him anyway. But from a 10 draw, we may now still run. It is up in the air. He's a young horse. There is the Group 1 at the end of the month for R1 million. So, and we don't think that we see how the week goes. Certainly a strong hand here, make no mistake. But Makazole from the draw does help. I think it's going to be a lot of hard stories on the day from wide draws. We need a bit of luck in running.
Before I come to Mike and Richard, I just want to ask an objective opinion from Anthony Delpeche, because both Wahid and Great Plains were impressive to the eye in what they did last time. Great Plains from a deep draw, dropping into last and running on, and Wahid sticking around from being posted out deep. Which run do you think resonated a little bit more?
I just liked the manner that Great Plains turned it on. I really thought he had a lot to do, and he's just in his last 2 wins have just shown me that, when a horse has that kind of turn of foot, always, to me, I'm impressed with it. But saying that running 3 wide and pulling doesn't really help the matter, especially around this track. So I don't think at the end of the day there will be much between the two of them at the end of the race.
Mark, surely not as much can go wrong for Wahid this time. Touch wood.
Yeah, look, I think his horse is going to probably want a little further. Last was a good run. I thought it wasn't a bad renewal of the gate crash. I think it was. It wasn't a bad renewal in my opinion. And he ran really, as you say, he was moved on early because he was tugging a little bit. I think he was clipping heels. He got out, and he was out there for a long time for a 2-year-old, which was quite impressive. There's a bit of it's a high quality field. This. I mean, there's a horse here called Truth, which I haven't mentioned yet, which I'm surprised, being Candace's husband. And there's a line of form here as well with Truth, with Great Plains, with Canamaya's horse that ran second to Great Plains. Also, this is a very high quality field. There's 5 or 6 colts in here that, in time, you wouldn't be surprised would win a Group 1. Terry's got 2. I think punters need to go quite wide here with 5 or 6 high quality. Even as he's also first time over a trip with this pedigree, he's looking for 14 and a mile. Albeit a maiden, but he's a high quality horse.
Well, I might as well give you some feedback on Truth. Working very, very well indeed. Looked very impressive in his 2 starts to date. Expectations are that he is out of the top draw, but he has not won a group race, not won a stakes race just yet. So hopefully he can prove himself here. Hopefully that he can do the job, but it will not be easy against this type of quality, including the recent Grade 1 winner that Richard Fourie rides, number 14 Proceed. Did you have quite a few choices in this race, Richard?
This was a very, very tough choice. I've ridden Cosmic Speed, gave me a good feel. Obviously, he ran second to Fire Attack, one up in the Highveld. Makazole, I've never ridden him at track, gave me a nice feel. Wahid, I was drawn 7 out of 8 inside track. Tried to make him jump slow and put him in behind. He pulled. Still tried to get him in the back of horses. The moment I got him into the back of horses, we were in the straight, so I pulled him back out again and he still won. Gave it him an impossible task to do. So, frightened of the horse, if I must say. Winds have changed, seen him race in Cape Town and in Highveld. He's always there. He's the one day the races were moved to the Vol, where he could have won. He ended up being on a worse draw of the card. So that's probably where he should have won. Great Plains, great feel. He just sleeps. Obviously, you just got to get him to the pens and make sure that he's in a calm, relaxed state. And when he spreads his wings, he can really take off. Truth, I've never seen that horse race, but I've heard a lot about him from everyone. So, interesting one. And then obviously, for me, it was hard to not ride Proceed. Obviously, what I wanted to ride was Cosmic Speed, but I know Proceed so well. You know, you have to be a little bit loyal. So even though from the bad draw, I'll take my medicine and see if we can win it from there.
Will he get the trip?
Oh yeah, I think he's been crying for it. So trip-wise, yes, he'll definitely quicken up nicely. He's not the biggest of horses, but he's really got a big eye.
And do you have any opinion on this race? Because there's so much going on, so much talk. Could you narrow it down, or are you going to are you going to suggest looking as wide as possible?
Well, I think Richard's on the wrong one. There's a horse that gets a 1400. That's got the greatest turn of foot, and the horse has never been a 1400. So maybe he knows more than me. He's been on them, but I'd go for Great Plains. But I think this is such a strong field. This is a real tough race, and whoever wins the race, I think is going to be a super horse.
Couldn't agree more. Let's go on to the second of the grade ones on the day. Lovely race, the Ridgemont Garden Province Stakes, over 1,600 metres. This is race number 8, runs at 5 o'clock. Double Grand Slam, Silver Sanctuary. It's looking like it pairs up between the two. Mark, I'm going to kick off with you. Silver Sanctuary, hold her place in the Hollywoodbets Durbanville until right at the end. You've opted for the mile grade 1, a race that you've won so many occasions with a lot of great fillies. Difficult decision to make, or comfortable that the mile's where she needs to be?
I mean, it was a lot of debate between myself and Kevin. I just felt given an Oaks run, maybe we're just stretching her past 10 furlongs. She has won quite a high-quality mile handicap very early as a 3-year-old, which again is quite impressive. I thought her run in the Guineas in Cape Town was very impressive as well. Where I don't know if the Double Grand Slam run in the Guineas.
Phillies Guineas.
Phillies Guineas. But anyway,
Yes.
Roscover ran.
That's your favourite. We
What
ran
about-
last, I think.
Yeah.
What did
we
you
ran
do?
last.
Double grand.
Peach Bomb won the race.
Beach Bomb won it, that's right. But yeah, I think 3 of the better 3-year-old fillies over a mile are in the race. High quality, Richard did promise to run and then jumped off her as well to ride her, but he's riding a Double Grand Slam, so I can't blame him. I would almost put this as my best runner on the day.
And so I'm going to come back to Mark with Humdinger in a moment. And you've got number 1, Happy Chancer, to draw 1. Sparingly raced rising 5-year-old. He's always looked like she's had the ability. What are the expectations here?
Well, I think that the draw is going to be in her favour, but do I think she's in the same class as Silver Century and Double Grand Slam? Maybe a little bit below that, you know, but I think the draw is going to help a lot, and Cabela obviously will tell a little bit more about it.
On that subject, Cabello, number 1, Happy Chance, draw 1. You've got to know her quite well. On her day, can she frighten these big guns?
She can definitely frighten them on her day. She has come on a lot after her run. She definitely didn't disgrace herself behind Double Grand Slam. And I'm hoping for a big run from her because she's definitely got the ability. It's just a matter of time for her to just pop right back up.
Justin, Double Grand Slam, probably the best 1,400 metre horse in the country. Over a mile, though, is there a question mark, or are you confident that she can do the job?
I cannot believe that Raskova is better than her over a mile. I would have always thought it would been the other way around. It's the strangest thing. The way Raskova runs and her form up the straight, it's a strange one, to be honest. I would have thought, but last time, I mean, Richard will probably say more. We went for outside run, and Craig had an interesting riding style the last 200. And we just got caught up against the outside fence a bit, but it was a great ride by the winner. And Richard said she was never happy being up against that rail. Not only was the horse on the inside, it was the cars on the outside, the parking area. She was looking at everything. So we were talking about the sun going down. Under lights, it does concern me. I think we're going to head to, if the lights come on by then, we could be in. It's just interesting, these fillies under lights. I've had such bad experience with Captain's Rants, and I'm really hoping this filly, because she's very similar in many ways, I'm hoping that she's not going to be the same under lights. So, flying at home. And I've got bad news for Mike. He thinks this is his best run on the day. I think mine's my best run on the day. So,
Brilliant.
yes. So, it's game on. Biden. Game on.
Okay, Joel.
Richard, what do you have to say about Double Grand Slam? Is she a bit of a thinker despite her undoubted ability?
It's game on. Just leave it at that.
That's all we need to
We've
hear.
learned a lot being on the outside rail.
That's all we need
So
to hear.
it's game time.
I'm not sure she'll beat Humdinger.
Well, I'm going to come to Humdinger because she has got to be one of the more gallant mares around. For me, she's an overachiever. Time and time again, she runs her socks off. Just when you underestimate her, she raises her game, and if not winning, she goes seriously close to some serious horses.
She's just one of those horses that are a pleasure to train, Alistair. You know, she, as you say, you get a pretty honest look when she's not right. You know, she lets you know. But she's also, I'm very comfortable at 7 furlongs with her. Yes, she's won a mile, but not a high quality mile in this. And I think she ran last year second or third. I think Princess Carter won it last year.
Last year, yeah.
So, you know, and she's very comfortable at Greyville as well. Kind of filly that gets a soft lead in front, runs well. She's a very, very honest filly, and, you know, one you could never leave out of a trifecta or quartet.
And then at the Hollywood Syndicate have got a very underappreciated horse in the form of Asiya Pambili, who obviously dropped her rider last time at Hollywoodbets Scottsville from the South African filly sprint. I remember her in Cape Town, not expecting much from her, and she delivered time and time again, running again above herself and doing a good job. Is she a sneaker in the pack here?
I think she could be the sneaker in the race. I think she's a filly that you haven't seen the best of. Unlucky last time, she didn't really get to have the run. She stumbled straight out the gate, so that didn't help her preparation coming into this race. But saying that, she's a filly that loves to run fresh. She's doing really, really well at home. She'll be there in the finish.
Very interesting race. Always is a great race, the Ridgemont Garden Province. On we go to race number 9, the Grade 2 Post Merchants. They go 1,200 metres. And here I'm going to start with Anthony Delpeche because the Hollywood Syndicate are represented by 3 runners here. Let's go in numerical order. Start with number 5, Cruise Control. Prolific in the Eastern Cape. Big run at Grade 1 level at Hollywoodbets Scottsville when finishing close up behind Lucky Lad. Where's he at now with having his second run in town, which can be a bit of a flattening run?
Well, Duncan said he has improved in his work and he's really doing well. And Sean Veal is really confident about his chances. And I think obviously a 6 furlong at Greyville is a easier 6 furlong than a Maritzburg 6 furlong. And 200 out, he looked race over and he got caught the last 50 metres. I think he's got a big weight obviously on his back, but he's definitely a big runner.
What about your next runner, number 12, Anfield's Rocket, came back to life by just getting nabbed by a lightweight in the form of Silent War. Many forget that this is a Grade 1 winner over 1,800 metres. I guess he's not the easiest to read, but on his day, how dangerous can he be?
Yeah, he has been a little bit disappointed. He's bounced back in his last run to show that maybe his form is starting to come back. But he's a horse, he's his own worst enemy. He doesn't have early speed and he doesn't come out the gates too well. So he's going to find himself quite a long way back and hopefully there's no traffic. But if he puts his best foot forward, he's got to run a good race.
Before I go back to Anthony Delpeche, I'm going to come to you, Cabello. Number 14, I Am Giant. This was just a lovely, big, handsome son of Quarari, who ran his career best last time, also in the Golden Horse Sprint at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. Worried about the draw?
Look, if I had a good draw, I'd be very bullish about this race because I feel like he's at his prime, he's doing well. He's at the right space. His run last time actually showed he's matured a lot, and but with the draw, I'm definitely worried about it. But I'm going to make the most out of it, and I think he's got a good chance in this race, and I just hope that he wins it.
He's a never say die type of horse, isn't he?
No, he's never been like that. He's always been game, and he always brings his best to the course. And
you picked up I Am Giant on an online sale, if I'm not mistaken, and he's gone through the division since he's been under your ownership.
Yeah, he has really done well, and there's a pity about the draw. I think if this horse was most probably drawn in the first 5 or 6, he must probably be the favourite in the race on his last run. Yeah, I think Cabello will have to do the job from that draw.
Richard, you get on number 1, Cafe Culture, Lucinda Woodruff's only runner throughout champion season, I believe. Drawn 1, was that what swayed you to taking the ride on him?
Oh no, I won on him last time in Cape Town, off the fast pace. Picking well. Nice galloping weight, 54, older horse. It's a handicap. Well, he's got chances. Open race. This is probably the race that throws the curveball on the day. Tend to go too fast and the winner comes from behind. So Kabila, don't rub yourself out. I think you'll be right there. Yeah.
Justin, you got number 2, Royal Aussie, winner of the Independence on Saturday Drill Horse Stakes. 1,200, a little bit on the sharp side for him, or is he up to the task here?
Look, the unfortunate things, I had to scratch him out the Gold Challenge. He picked up a virus. So we're bringing him back in this race. He's not well in at the weights, I think, in comparison to some horses that are under the radar. I think Tony Ridvan's horse actually a very nice looking individual, weighted at the bottom of the race. Teflon Man, low weight. I've got to give them all weight. So he's going to need to run at his absolute best. I will say one thing, he's really doing well at home. This is a race to decide where we're going to go with him at the end of the month, whether we're going to go the 1800 or run him in the Group 1 sprint. So we're just there to bring him on and then work out where we're going to go with him.
So that's the final leg of the pick six. What about race number 10, the Compendium Insurance Brokers Handicap, formerly known as the Tequila Handicap, over 1,600 metres. Cabello, I'll start with you. You run number 2, Lady Haas, to push Get Impressed, who she meets again all the way down to the line. Of course, in that race was double superlative. We heard from Justin during the discussion for the Hollywoodbets Durbanville. Did she surprise you last time?
Well, look, I always seen how she races. She's a very gutsy filly, and you know she tries for you. She runs to the line. Last time I just got put on the line, which was very unlucky for her. But I mean, I think coming up Saturday, she's well in the weight. I think she's got a good chance. I know her better now. Last time when I gave her a smack on the left, she sort of shied away from the crop. But I think I know her better now, and with the draw, it makes it easier for me as well. And I think she's got a chance as well.
Richard, I want to come to you with number 5, Get Impressed, before we go to Justin. When he arrived in Durban and won at Hollywoodbets Scottsville, it was quite some win. Not much went right, but was still able to overcome that. So he's got to be a huge candidate here.
No, most definitely. But saying that, there's one or two horses in this race that are very, very well handicapped, I thought. And also I've ridden like a horse called The Shepherd. He's a strong horse. He likes to gallop. You know, the faster they go, the better for him. I just think that the race might just fall in his favour. And obviously Nina Drogon, also a nice classy type of horse. Obviously gone up a little bit in the weights, but not the type of horse that I'd leave out.
Anthony, Hollywood Syndicate have got number 11, The Shepherd, who just got a glowing remark from Richard Furry, second to Dave the King, who subsequently won the Grade 1 Weight for Age Hollywoodbets Gold Challenge. That's got to stand him in good stead, probably in essence a few divisions down.
Yeah, first when Peter ran him there, I thought he's gone crazy to run him in the race, and for him to have run second, obviously we were getting 10 kgs from David the King, but I never expected him to finish where he did, and I thought he ran a superb race. He is a horse on the up, but he is a horse that you actually need to know how to ride him. So hopefully Garrett can ask Richard a little bit about him, because he does tend to run around in the race. But I think if he gets into the race and there's a good pace, he'll be there in the finish.
Michael, your last runner in the day is number 7, Mary's Green Light. She's got form to the best 3-year-old fillies in the country. She one that's got to be in the picture here?
Yeah, I think so. I think this is one of those fields. Am I correct in saying that the third jackpot there's like a 2 million carryover or something? It's quite a
correct.
So this falls into that category.
This is the get out stakes as far as the exotics are concerned.
Or you're going to get into trouble there, because this is a handicap where there's almost 14 horses here that can win. You can make a case for them. It's a real good true handicap. And for me, I'd be putting the field in here. I honestly have gone through this so much to try and find a winner. I mean, my filly's well, and she, as you say, represents the 3-year-old filly's form. But, there's some really nice young horses on the way up here. Robbie Hill's also represents all the 3-year-old colts form, so a really good quality betting handicap, if you ask me.
Justin, are you going to be confident with Get Impressed, or also going to kick for touch a bit?
Yeah, look, very tough field, but this horse is going the right direction. If it wasn't for the last time, the second last run in the Derby, where he looped the field and JP couldn't hold him back to a mile, he came and showed his cloth. There's something about this horse. When he walks around the parade ring, I can assure you, he's a high-level individual. And to be quite honest, don't want to blow smoke too much Richard's way, but when you've got Richard in a race, it certainly does give you some confidence. So that certainly is going to help his cause.
Richard, do you ever return the favour and blow a bit of smoke Justin's way?
None required.
Brilliant. Right, let's go to race number 11, the Brentford Football Club Pinnacle Stakes over 1,200 metres. Of course, the association between Hollywoodbets and Brentford is magic. It's magnificent. Now Brentford are in the big league now for yet another season. two runners here, rather two people represented by one runner, Sharfolia for the Hollywood Syndicate, ridden by Richard Fourie. I will start with Anthony about Sharfolia's chances. What do you think?
I think she's most probably our best runner on the day. She's 3 kgs better off at the weights than Shantastic. And I'll be honest, I think they both will fight it out.
Shantastic also big chance?
Big chance. Obviously, Dean avoided going for the Garden Province and thought this is the right race for her. And yeah, but just at the weights, I just feel that Sharfolia is the better runner.
Justin Baltic Secret's got a bit of bold black type to her name after winning the laissez-faire at Hollywoodbets Durbanville towards the end of last year. Has she been a little bit under par so far in Durban, or was she outgunned last time?
Yeah, look, from that draw, it's impossible, to be honest. It's going to be, she's got a lot of natural speed. You have to chase around the field, 12 draw. She's got her work cut out, to be honest. To be honest, I shouldn't be running her. It might be run this race and retire it to stud. And if I didn't do that, run her a little later, I'll probably keep her another year. So I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't. So there's a lot of smart little fillies in here for a Pinnacle 1200. If it was a 5 furlong, I'd be a lot more confident. 1200, it's completely in the hands of the jockey and a bit of luck in running.
Richard, your last ride on the day, number 4, Sharfolia. Anthony's confident. Did you need that little bit of a boost, or did you go into this discussion
No, I
thinking?
saw the weight advantage of 3 kilos. So big runner, lovely draw, nice galloping weight. So it's all good.
Okay. And then on to the 12th and last race, which is the Gagasi FM merit rated 90 handicap, and they go the 1,000 meters at Hollywoodbets Greyville. Justin, guess where you're drawn with Yamadori?
The best thing could probably happen to me in this last race is the lights don't come on.
Don't tempt fate, because you're the only person who's probably hoping that.
12 draw, lots of pace, chase around the field. At least I got the right guy on, Sean Veal. There's no brakes, so it's fine. We're going to take on poison.
Did you say brakes?
No, it has no brakes.
Okay.
It's like Cornet in the S3, got no brakes. So we're just hoping for a bit of luck in the running. But yeah, I was not blessed by the draws by the NRB, but we're there to take our chances.
And then the Hollywood Syndicate have got Black Egret Anthony, draw 3, Samango Kamalo takes the ride. Breathing problems that were well documented early on in his career. All good now?
Well, Clint's never mentioned it, so hopefully it's all good. Yeah, but the only thing about him, he's never won over 5 furlong. And it's the first time on the surface, and he's got a big weight, but he's got a very good draw. And he's an honest horse, and he's in good form.
Okay, so those are the other 11 races on the card. Just going to go through the panel, get their best bet on the day that they're riding, potentially any bankers on the card. Cabell, I'll start with you. Which horse are you most looking forward to riding on the day?
Well, I must say I'm mostly looking forward to riding Winchester Mansion in July, but if I have to say my best ride, I think my honest chance on that day will be Lady Heist.
Richard, from your side, from your array of riches?
Well, if Mucha Denera comes to the party, I think he's a cool horse to win on. Yeah, the other two, like Raising Hallelujah, I think if he stays, well, I know he stays at such a lovely win last time. I think he's a horse that's full of confidence. And Sharfolia, and she's, I like all my horses, I sound like Ben Kotson, yeah. But yeah, no, I just have like the right kind of horses that are nicely drawn and stuff like that. So, you know, you got to aim high and hopefully hit your targets. But yeah, I'm gonna give it our best on the day.
And before you reveal your best, I remember 2 years ago when Blackthorn won the Gold Vase here on Hollywoodbets Durban July Day, what that meant to the Hollywood team on the flagship day on the African racing calendar, which of course is named and sponsored by Hollywoodbets. What would it mean to the team to lead in yet another winner here at the Theatre of Champions?
Yeah, of course, this is the day that I try to make sure that we put in our best runners for this meeting, especially us being the sponsor of the Hollywoodbets Durban July. So, yeah, so I try to put on the best that we've got, and I think this year we're pretty competitive, and it will mean a lot to the whole team to have a winner on the day, and we're hoping to have more than one winner on the day.
Who was your best chance?
I think Sharfolia is our best chance. I think she's doing really well at home, and she's spot on.
Mark, best chance from your side?
Well, as I said, mentioned earlier on, I like Silver Century probably as my best runner, but to me the most race I'm looking forward to the most is the juvenile colts. Well, those races are always good, but I think for some reason this year I think there's a couple of high quality horses around, youngsters, colts certainly. So we're watching that with a lot of interest.
Justin, how many are you going to give us from your side this year?
It's a tough card. I'm not going to joke. I'm hoping for a good day. I mean, 14 of my 20 horses that I've brought to Natal are running. So we really are hoping for a good card. I do think jockeys are a big play. I think we've done the best we possibly can for our horses on the day to give us the best chance. I do think the filly will run a big race. And obviously, a lot of my luck comes in the main event. So I'm hoping that nothing changes, and that I'm hoping will be our best result on the day. Give a lot of respect to the Grey King. He's just in a race that I think will suit him. Hope for a big day.
A lot of words to answer with 2 horses. Well done. Thanks so much to the team. Thanks to Justin Snaith, Mike de Kock, Richard Fourie, Anthony Delpeche, and Kabelo Matsanyane. It's been an absolute pleasure. It always is. Now it's up to you to place your bets. Enjoy. We'll see you at Hollywoodbets Greyville on Saturday, the 6th of July.